So keep on going with your silly dream by Piter on AO3, read by Lily6645. This fic may include suicidal thoughts. That is your warning. Chapter 31, in which Izuku Midoriya is both hit and hit on. Izuku shuffled down the street, hoodie pulled over his head. It was hot today, but he'd rather not draw attention to himself. The various cuts, bruises, and scars wouldn't help that. He really needed to take care of his hair. Maybe he should ask his store to let him plug in a razor? With Uraraka and Shinso both at school, he had no one to talk to. He forgot what it was like to be lonely. In the short time he'd began, living again, rather than simply surviving. He'd been trying to get more confident. Tubby had said he needed to work on it the other day, and Tubby was pretty cool. He glanced up from the ground, determined to hold his head high. How hard could it? He made eye contact with someone. Izuku never looked back up again. That was so awkward. Dobby was wrong. Hey there! Izuku jumped to see the girl he had made eye contact with, head circled back, and was now walking next to him. She was a little taller than him, with black hair that reached the middle of her back. She was smiling at Izuku. The green-haired teen gulped, fearing for his life. Oh, hey? She walked next to him. I'm Akana, and I know this might be kind of weird, but you're cute. Is there any way I could get your number? Izuku blinked, subconscious, assuring he couldn't, continued walking even as his brain stalled. Mine? He squeaked, face flushing. The girl laughed. Yes, you. Was this a joke? His mind flashed back to the many times people had asked him out on dares, or as a prank. Nope, he wasn't built for this. You seem really nice and all, but I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. I'm so sorry. I have to go. Izuku sprinted away, ignoring the gasp of surprise and the grumbles of those he weaved past. Scratch the no looking up thing. He was simply never talking to anyone ever again. He yelped as he suddenly smacked into a woman. The buzzed hair, those yellow eyes, slit slightly too big for her head, stare against dark skin. She smiled apologetically, revealing sharp canines, offering a hand to help him up. Didn't see you. Sorry about that. This was the woman who stabbed him. He felt a phantom twinge in his side, where the mostly healed wound was. Izuku took a breath and gave a shaky grin, not too unlike the one he wore during his time at Aldera. He needed to stay calm. This was the key to finding this boss she mentioned. So long as Izuku was able to follow her that long without arousing suspicion. He took her hand allowing her to hoist him up. It's okay, really. I shouldn't have been running like that. Thank you for helping me up. The teen trailed off, looking up at her. Oh, no need. Damn it. I'll be on my way. Izuku waited a beat, readjusting his hood before trailing behind her. Thankfully, he blended in while she stood out. There couldn't be a better scenario. Izuku kicked a rock in agitation. Who just walked around for 3 hours straight? The woman turned sharply, and suddenly, to Izuku's surprise, he sped up slightly in an effort to catch up, but his efforts proved to be futile. The last he saw of her was carrying a small kid who stared straight at Izuku with big, red, teary eyes. But Izuku wasn't fast enough. Izuku took a deep breath, shaking out his hands. He could do this. He'd been a vigilante for, basically 10 months now. He backed up before springing towards the edge of the roof and jumping onto the neighboring building. He yelped as his feet hit concrete, legs buckling before his face smacked the ground. At least no one saw that. What the hell are you trying to do? Shit, Izuku needed to stop jinxing himself like that. He scrambled up, holding his bat in front of him. Eraserhead simply lifted an eyebrow at the display, clearly not threatened. Izuku sniffed. Was that McDonald's? On cue, Eraserhead held up a paper bag. I'm calling a truce. You aren't a threat, despite what the commission thinks. You eat and tell me about the woman who stabbed you. I don't drag you to the police. The vigilante shuffled in place. It was risky to let Eraserhead hear his voice, since they'd interacted outside of the costume before. Plus, this might be a trap to get Izuku to lower his guard. It wouldn't be logical for me to capture you, the older man grumbled. You have valuable information and could still gather more. If I brought you in, opportunities would be lost. Izuku limped over to the ledge of the roof, falling, swinging his legs over it and sitting. I was trying to parkour, Izuku huffed, taking the bag of food as the underground hero sat next to him. When you go from a high place to a low place, you need to roll to absorb the impact. The teen nodded. They sit in comfortable silence for a moment, Izuku slipping food under his bandana and Eraserhead slurping down something. It looked gross. Why do all pro heroes bribe me with food? Because it works? Yeah, Izuku admitted. But, how's school been? You teach 1A, right? Yeah, class full of problem children. He sounded the way he did when he talked about Present Mike, exasperated but slightly fond. He wondered if he'd talk about Izuku like that if he was in 1A. Describe the woman who stabbed you. I want her exact words. Well, she thanked me 'cause some guy had pinned her and hugged me? You let a random woman hug you. I just thought she was traumatized. Izuku defended himself. Anyways, then she was like, my boss thinks you might be a problem since you didn't really rely on your quirk, so our bullets won't stop you. And then she stabbed me. Oh, I saw her today, actually. Racerhead's eye twitched. What? Yeah, ran into her. I tried to follow her. She disappeared too fast. She had a girl with her. I wasn't fast enough. Izuku felt his chest ache at the failure, but ate another fry before it consumed him. He wasn't having one of his episodes in front of a racerhead. The hero gave him an odd look before continuing with his questions. Describe her. Detailed as possible. Someone's in an interrogation mode. Izuku pouted. He just wanted to parkour and beat people up. Was that too much to ask? Big yellow eyes, buzzed hair, fangs, dark complexion, pretty tall, I guess. No need for all that sass. Eraserhead rolled his eyes. I'll leave you be now. Izuku felt the odd urge to ask him to stay, to clutch onto his leg and make him sit back down. He was nice when he wasn't trying to catch Izuku and drag him to the cell, surely waiting for him. He's almost what Izuku imagined a father. Nope! That is the end of chapter 31 of So Keep On Going With Your Silly Dream by Piter on AO3. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this story, please go support the author. Link in the description below.